Yikes, that was a dangerous accident involving some commercial fireworks in Indiana. So now health experts are reminding you if you are doing, oh my goodness, doing your own fireworks show in Illinois, it's illegal.
Yep, and if you get caught, you're going to be fined. But even more reason not to set them off are the injuries, of course, that could happen.
Yikes, Tia has more from a professional.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to a doctor about this, but I've actually had the unfortunate assignment of covering somebody being injured by fireworks, and they were burned from head to toe. Here to talk about the dangers is Dr. Stathi Pulakidis, Director of Burn Services for Cook County Health. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about what types of injuries people can sustain from fireworks and even some of those sparklers that are out there.
Absolutely. Let's just start with sparklers. They seem totally innocuous and very harmless. And a lot of times families give them to the children of the household there. And what can happen from that perspective is they can actually get burned significantly. A sparkler can burn up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and that can cause a burn instantaneously that can be third degree, that might even require grafting on a little child. As you kind of progress from there to some of these mortars and some of these larger, more explosive devices that everybody's getting illegally, they can blow hands off, fingers off, have even life-threatening and even death occur with regards to some of these types of injuries.
Now, I've actually covered a story before where someone had some of the residual firework to come down on them. They weren't really sure at the time how severely burned they were after this incident. Is there a way that someone can differentiate between a minor burn and a severe burn from a firework?
You know, a minor burn might not hurt a lot. It might actually feel like a sunburn almost. But then a lot of times when these do fall down onto the crowd, their clothing will catch fire. So they actually will a lot of times be more severe burns. And because of that, we kind of require that, or at least request that people come and seek care in the hospital setting, in the emergency departments, or in the trauma bay over by Stroger Hospital and Cook County Health, so that we can be able to actually assess that burn and make sure that they're going to be safe.
If someone is burned by a firework, what should they do immediately? Is there anything they can do at home as they're preparing to race to the hospital?
Of course. First thing you want to do is obviously stop, drop, and roll, especially if your clothing has ignited. You want to try to put that out as quickly as possible. The other thing is you want to make sure your scene is safe. The scene may be unsafe and more fireworks may be kind of continuing to propel into the air. And so you want to make sure that those don't cause worse injury or more injury to others that are there. Once that's occurred, what you want to try to do is quiesce the burn and minimize your pain. So whether you wrap it with a wet, kind of lukewarm towel, or at least cover yourself so that it can actually minimize the impact of the air on the burn, that'll allow you to actually minimize your pain and then get to the emergency room either by ambulance or by private car as quickly as possible.
All right. Well, hopefully we don't have any serious injuries out there as a result of this weekend. Again, reminding people fireworks are illegal. Dr. Stathi Pulakidis, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, and I hope everybody's safe for the 4th and has a wonderful holiday.
All right. You too. Terrence, I'll send it back to you.